Hey, it's Paul-Anthony from Ink Different Tattoos and the Ink Different Tattoos podcast. And today we're at the Philadelphia convention, where we're going to introduce you to the people and personalities that make it happen. Welcome to the Convention Connection. We're going to look at American traditional and some gentlemen who have seen really everything, right? So we got Marvin with us, Marvin Moskowitz, and we got Ronnie. How do I say your last name?
Dell'Aquila.
Then how did you get started? When did you get started, Ronnie?
In the late 60s, in 72, I started doing more and more of it. And in 70s, more clientele and whatnot, because when it was underground, there was Coney Island Freddie was in Seagate, but he was the neighborhood tattoo guy. And
right.
Friends would go to him and wound up meeting a lot of his father's friends and other old timers and learned to listen more than to carry on like an asshole. They respected me and they talked to me because back then the knowledge of where to buy anything, get anything was all a secret. You had to be recommended, plus you had to know how to make your own needles, cut your own springs. The availability is what made this grow into what it is now. In the 70s and 80s, when guys like Ed Hardy, Bob Roberts, Jack Rudy, and all of that stuff, but that was all like a West Coast thing, more so than it was on the East Coast. They never got the ink in the same as the East Coast guys. Charlie Wagner was on the Bowery. He was the first recorded tattoo shop in America that was behind the barbershop.
Right.
And that was from Samuel O'Reilly, who was before him, that fell off a ladder and died, and then Charlie wound up with the shop. In Norfolk, Virginia, was Cap Coleman, and he took the designs that were complicated and he simplified them where they looked better on the skin and they were better to do on the skin because they didn't have a whole bunch of nonsense with it. Everybody sort of went with that momentum, and traditional became
what it is
the
now.
way
Yeah,
it
we
is.
know it is. Well, and what people don't know now is that tattooing was illegal.
Once you touched the skin, then you broke the law.
Right.
I know because I got busted in 76
There you go.
for tattooing.
My grandfather was Willie Moskowitz. He bought a barbershop. The barbershops were underground and Chinese herbs or something upstairs. He rented a little back room to transient tattoo artists. One of them was a guy named Al Neville, who gave Norman Rockwell the tattoo machine. They were drunks. They didn't show up. So Charlie Wagner came in and said, Willie, I'm going to teach you how to tattoo, fix up the room. You're getting 25 cents for a haircut, you'll get 50 cents for a tattoo.
Right.
So he became a tattooer. My uncle Stan came in the late 40s to tattoo. Their brother-in-law, Stanley Farber, who's known as Flapper Stan, who happened to have the last legal shop before the band came down. He opened up in Coney Island, and my father went down to the Bowery to work full-time because he was married and I was on the way. And I heard stories how Flapper Stan, my grandfather, and Bowery Stan were in the shop one night. And some guy came in, punched my grandfather in the face. Two Stanleys beat the guy 3/4 to death, and they dumped him in an alley. But that's how it was when they buried their battle.
Yeah.
They're well known for the battle. I'll tell you a couple more stories if you have time.
Yeah.
They were once beating the shit out of two guys, and a tattooer, Sailor Bill Killingsworth, comes in, and he pulls out a gun. I think my uncle had a guy on the floor, and he puts it to the guy's head and he says, you want me to finish him off? My father, no, we'll take care of it. Jack Dracula worked for my uncle Flapper Stan, Stanley Farber. And my father used to take me down, this is on Flapper's Avenue, to visit him while my father was alive. So he takes me one day, and Dracula out of plywood is making all the Warner Brother cut characters, painted up and stuff. I'm 6, 7 years old, and I want one. And he wouldn't sell my father one, 20 bucks for one. He still would, I'm crying, this and that, and he wouldn't sell it. So the moral of the story is, fuck Jack Dracula.
Yeah, there you go. But if you want to get a great tattoo, right, come find Marvin and Donnie
I'm on Instagram,
Ronnie.
Moskowitz Marvin. Sell a 2-disc audio book. It's my father's own words, telling about his life and tattooing and stuff.
Okay. Ronnie, people can just find you here? at the conventions? Is there any
And
place?
Strasburg, Pennsylvania.
In Strasburg, Pennsylvania is where you have your shop,
Yeah.
and you're just doing conventions.
I just do conventions and a guest spot here.
Okay, great. Well, it's great meeting you, man, and spending some time with you. I really
guaranteed.
appreciate it.
Oh,
Thank
no.
you. Thank you for
Pleasure.
the time.
You're a
Yeah,
gentleman.
this is the place to come get American traditional tattoos from some American traditional
Before we
men.
croak.
They're going to
The
be
real
around for a
deal.
while, but don't miss them. When you're
The
at
real
the
deal.
conventions and you see these men, get to me. I hope you enjoyed that interview. If you did, please like, subscribe, share it, tell your friends about it. Watch the next interview right here. If you're a tattoo shop owner looking to build up your team of artists, or you just want to make sure that the best up-and-coming artists in your area end up in your shop and not someone else's, then go to inkdifferenttattoos.com/connect so we can help.